Good evening, everyone. We'll be looking at how to use Tableau. But before I start to talk about Tableau, I'll just really give you a quick rundown of what the interface looks like when you run Tableau Public. So you have this pane here, which you have connect. So connect, what you have there is you are going to connect to a data. So the type of data, so you can connect to Microsoft Excel data, you can connect to a text file, you can connect to a JSON file, you can connect to a Microsoft Access file, you can connect to a PDF file, spatial file, and statistical file. So you can also connect to more. That's if you have Tableau desktop. So here, where you have the to a server on Tableau desktop, you have like a couple of other things that you can connect to. There are a lot of them. You can connect directly to your SQL. You can connect directly to MySQL. You can connect to Amazon database and so many other databases. So, but we will not be doing any of that today. I will quickly show you the file we'll be working with. This is the file on Excel. So it's a sales file of a superstore. So on the sales files, we have the row, the order ID, the order date, ship mode, customer ID, customer name, segment, country, city, state, postcode, region, product ID, category, and so on. Then if we open the story that we are going to be looking at, I closed that. Just give me a moment there quickly. I'll open that. So all do we have anybody that their Tableau has not come up? Is everybody on this page?
No, the page.
No, I'm not on the page.
Okay. Let me know when everyone. Let me just know when you're all on the page. Please just signify so that we can start quickly. So our story today will be looking at the story for the sprint here. So we're looking at what region makes the most profit. So your stakeholders want to know, based on the data that you are given, like, oh, what region makes the most profit? The geographical distribution of sales across the cities. So they want to know how sales is across the cities geographically, right? So they also want to know what region makes the most sales per segment. Then what region makes the most sales? The most profits by category. So there should be a by there. And by subcategory too. So we want to know that by subcategory. So have you all turned on our Tableau now? Guys, please answer me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so and we have all downloaded the file, the Excel file.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's an Excel file. So what we'll be doing is we'll be connecting with Microsoft Excel. So you click on Microsoft Excel. So when you click on Microsoft Excel, it will bring up something like this on your system, right? So you go to the place where you have kept that file that you downloaded just now. Okay, so for me, I kept it on the desktop somewhere here and somewhere here and somewhere inside this place. So this is the file. I'll leave this open for a while everybody has got into their file. Let me know, please.
Sorry, can you recap for some of us that just joined?
So what you are doing is you are going to click on Microsoft. I'll just go back there again. Cancel this. You click on Microsoft Excel, right? Once you click on Microsoft Excel, it will take you somewhere on your system, right? For me, it took me to internship data. So I'm going to go and look for the file where I saved that file that I downloaded, that Excel file that I sent to everyone. So this is the file, sample superstore. You should have that file. That was what I sent to the group. So where you downloaded, navigate your system to that space or that folder.
Wait there, Olivia. You should come and take her down. Come.
So are we all there now?
Yes.
Okay, now we would click on
For
the
me,
file and
yes.
click on open.
Is it no? It's not so please let this one not come from you to your hand.
Rose, can you please mute? I don't know why my system is taking forever. So it should take us to this point. We should see this on the system, on our system right now. Is everyone here now?
I am.
Not
Is
yet.
there anyone on the call that is not here?
Yes, please. Hold on.
Huh?
Yes, we just tried to.
1 minute, please.
I am here.
Yeah, just let me. Okay, I'll just wait for like 2 minutes and see. So if you see on the left side here, you can see the sheet and we can see connect, right? So the connect is connection here that is showing here is showing okay the file that you are connected to.
Sorry, what app are you opening now?
You said what?
As in the app, is it the
This is
Tableau?
Tableau Public. Who is speaking, please?
Oluwasegun Samson Aribuwa.
Okay, Shegun, have you connected to the file that I uploaded on the group?
Yes, I've installed it. I want to.
No, not install the file that I sent, the sample superstore file.
I'm sorry, but I'm not able to add the file.
We said what?
I'm not able to add the file.
Do you want to share your screen?
Okay.
So I'll stop sharing so you can share your screen, Adura.
Okay. Mm, okay.
So if you are just joining, we would use Adura's system to for those that are behind, use Adura's system to learn and just are you sharing your screen now?
Sorry, 1 minute.
So that you can all catch up. Who is user?
Okay, yeah. Can you see my
Yeah, I
screen?
can see your screen. So click on Microsoft Excel.
Okay, so I have to first save the file, right?
Yeah, so click on Microsoft Excel there. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, so where did you save that file that you downloaded?
Desktop. Yeah, so I saved it here, but it's not there. I don't know why.
Okay, come down to, just beside file names, there is a place that where you have Excel workbook. Just above open. Just above open.
Okay.
Yeah, click on that. Click on all files.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now click on that. Now, okay.
Open, right?
Yeah. No, 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 no. That's not what we want to open. Sorry. You
That's
have not
not
done.
it.
That's not what cancel. That's not what we want to open. Cancel that. Go to your folder. Open the folder and let's see where you kept that file. Go to a folder. Open like don't not through Tableau. Open your normal folder.
Okay. Yeah.
The file is not where you say it is. But yeah.
Yeah, this
Have
is
you
it.
have you
It
opened
is
the
there.
normal
Yeah.
folder?
Yeah, this
I
is the
can't
folder
I
where
can't
it
see
is.
that. I think stop sharing and share your screen, not a portion of your screen.
Are you referring to the database you sent to the group that we should download?
Yes.
Okay, I have downloaded it.
Yeah, can you see it now?
I can see your screen now. Yeah. So
Yeah,
this is
this is the
so
file.
the file is not there now.
Sorry,
Adura.
it is there. This is it.
No,
All the
that's
files.
not it. There is an Excel file that I sent to you. This is the story. I sent two files.
These are the things that you sent to us. So because I'm going through the
I
It
I
was
sent
sent
I
around
sent two files.
8:52 p.m.
I
to
sent two files.
you.
Is it sample
So
superstore?
sample,
Yeah.
yeah, sample source, like sample superstore.
Superstore. Okay.
Yeah. So download that, please.
Okay.
superstore.
Sorry, I need to stop sharing for a minute.
No, just do it now. Let me see you do it, please. Because we are waiting on you.
Okay, sample super source. I'm just seeing it now. Fuck. Okay.
Um,
Adura.
yeah, I'm with you. Sorry.
Okay.
Save that.
Okay, now go to your tablet now.
Yeah, this
You
is
can see
it.
it now. So click on it and open it. Okay. So
Hi, Mr.
Oluwa or Oluwafemi or is it
Oluwasegun.
Oluwasegun? Yeah, you can just change your name to Shegun so we'll know that Shegun because it's only Oluwa that bears Oluwa.
My name
Who
is
is user,
Oluwasegun.
please? You can stop sharing now.
Okay.
Yeah, who
Hi,
is user?
Mr. Ayode.
Yeah, who is that?
Ezekiel.
Yeah, rename yourself now, please. Rename to Ezekiel so I can relate with you.
Okay, I'll do that
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So I would so we should all have this. So if we look at the Excel file that we have there, we would see that if you look down here at the sheet number, at the sheet here, we'll see others, we'll see return, and we'll see people. So this is what is in return. This is what is in people. So we have different sheets, right? So if you look at the interface here, it has put down the numbers of sheets here. We have orders, we have people, and returns under this file. So naturally, if you connect to a file, to put the name of the file under connections. So you can connect to more than one file. You can connect to 5, 6 files. But for now, you are just connected to one, and these are the sheets on that. Right. So for you to work on any sheet here, you have to bring the sheet on this canvas. So this is a canvas. So you bring this, you drag it, drag and place it here. Sorry, my system is taking forever. I don't know what's going on.
But stop sharing now. Please, I just want to connect that this to that Microsoft Excel. Please, can anyone put me through?
Can you share your screen so we can?
I've shared my screen. Please, where am I going to? Where am I going to select this, please?
Yeah, you click the Microsoft Excel.
Okay.
So go to the file where
The
you
directory of the file, right?
yes, where you have the document.
Okay.
Yeah. You open. Yeah, that's it.
That's
So you
all right.
said to bring it here, you drag the orders to the I don't know what you called it.
Okay. I think I should stop sharing now till tutor comes back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So okay, what we are going to do now is we are going to drag the orders to the canvas here. Now, if you drag the orders to the canvas, it's going to load the data, right? And a couple of all of us are on this, right? We are all here, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so if you look down here, we'll see the name of the sheet, which is the name of the sheet order. Then we'll see the field. So in Tableau, a field is the same as column. So this column that are going, this column, role ID, order dates, they are all fields, right? They are all fields, right? They are the same as column. So here we see the field. So we will now see the names of the field. So it's telling us the names of the field. Now the physical table, the sheet name is orders, right? So the remote field, okay. Those are things that you see here. So at the top here, we can see it's going to Tableau. When you load the data on Tableau, what it does is like it tries to understand the data on its own, and interpret it. Like, for example, he's saying these numbers, he's saying it as number here. So we can see number, whole number. So we are saying this, he's seeing it as integer or like a string. Sorry, he's seeing it as a string. So it's a string that is there. So like that order, he's seeing it as date. So he's seeing, he has taken it as date. The order here too, the ship date, he's seeing it as date. So he's doing the same thing here. So sometimes you can have like some files that it will not, it is maybe a date and maybe something is wrong with the date and it's not reading it as date, then it reads it as number. So sometimes you might have to change that. Just give me a moment, please. So we have the segment also is seeing that as a string. So like that, like that. So, but sometimes you might have to edit. So what I always do is, I always, when I would have seen the data beforehand, right? And looked at the data. Now what I do is I look through this now to understand. As Tableau seeing it the way it's supposed to see it. So now it's seeing country. It's seeing it as geographical location. So you can see that geographical location there. So if you come here, it's seeing it as country, right? So of course, it's a country, United States. So yeah, it's seeing this one as city. Of course, these are cities, right? So it's seeing this as states. Of course, these are states. So it's seeing this as postcode. So if you go there, postcode. So it's seeing it the correct way. Now there are regions, south, west, and so on. It's seeing that those as string. It's not seeing it as region, because I don't think there's no the map does not we can try it, we can change it later, we'll see what happens, but it doesn't have that west region and so on the data, right? So like that, we have that, we have for furnitures, we have for the subcategories, which are okay. Under furnitures, we have bookcases, we have chairs, and so on, like that. The name of the product, is seeing that as a string, which is a string, and here numbers. So he's seeing this as what? Number in decimal place, because there are decimals there. He sees this one as whole number. He sees this one as decimal, right? And he sees this one as decimal too, so you can see decimal. So do we all understand what I'm talking about? Yeah?
Not really.
Not really. So what we are saying is,
It's not clear, sir. Please kindly recap.
yeah, so what I'm saying is this: Tableau, when you load the data on Tableau is intelligent enough to identify what kind of data you have loaded. Is it a geographical data? Is it a data? Because there are different types of data. So, right, it can either be geographical, it could be a string, that is names of places, names of things. It could be dates, right? So yeah, we are seeing the types of data that we have, right? So there are different types of data. So it will fall under one of these categories, right? So you, as data analyst, you have to know what data you're dealing with. So when Tableau, with its intelligence, picks what best fits that data, right? That data type, you yourself, you still look at it to be sure that it's correct. That's what we are saying. Don't worry, as we go along, you understand better. But this is the best explanation I can give you. There are different types of data. You have to know that okay, there are different types of data. There are some data that come as whole number. There are some data that come as decimal places. There are some data that are strings. There are some data that are geographical location, and so on. So you should know that, right? So now that we have loaded our data, the next thing we want to do is we want to click on sheets. So you click on sheet 1, right? So I want everybody to click on sheet 1 now. So if you click on sheet 1, it will bring you here. So we have what? We have the data pane. So under the data pane here, it tells you the name of the file. We can see the name of the file here. Others inside sample data source, right? So we have the name of the sheet and the name of the file that you are connected to, right? So here we have the table. What is under the table? Okay, the categories under the table. So basically what this has done is that they have, so these are the categories. So you have city, you have country, you have those are the categories under the table, right? In let me open the file for the table on Excel so that you understand what I'm talking about. So just real quick. So yeah, so you have the data, you have the different fields. So you have the city, you have the country, you have the customer ID, you have the customer name, and so on and so forth. Then you have the discount, profit, and quantity. But if we notice, there are some fields here that are blue, and there are some that are green. Now, the one that is blue is referred to as dimension, while the one that are green are referred to as measures. So a dimension, right, is a qualitative data. A dimension is a qualitative data. Say, for example, if you say name of your products, like the name of your product or the name of people, these are qualitative data, while measures are quantitative data that you can count, right? So always have at the back of your mind that dimension are qualitative data and measures are quantitative data. So here we can see discount. Discount is given in value. It's a count. Profit is a count. Quantity is a count. Sales is a count. Latitude, it's numbers. So it's a count. You can count it too. You can quantify it because it's telling you the location on the map. So longitude to count. Order, count. So you see all these things are count. So they are called what? Measure values. Why this one are dimension values, right? Does anyone have a question so far? No one has a question. Okay, that's fine. So what we can now further do to make this interesting is we can decide to categorize our measures. Already it's kind of like as a kind of category here already, but we can try to categorize this our measures in terms of hierarchy, right? So I would ask a question. Who can answer this question? So if you have country, what comes after country in terms of category? So you say, for example, you have country, you have city, you have state, you have postcode. So what comes after country?
State.
The state. So and what comes after state?
City.
The city. Then what comes after the city?
Code.
Yeah, the postcode. Yeah. So you can kind of like create a kind of hierarchy within your chart. So let's say for example now, I come to. So what we are supposed to do before we create hierarchies, we are supposed to first create a category. But this file, as there's a category that has been created already. So what we just come is we right click If you right click on your category, right, come down, you will see what they say, create hierarchy. So are we all here?
Yes.
So if you click on, yeah, so if you click on create hierarchy, right, we can name it, we can name what should we name it? We can name it, say, location. So we can name the hierarchy location, right? So we have location. Now, what are the things that we want to be under location? We can assign these things to location. So what we are going to do now is, have you all created a hierarchy location?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to add fields to the location, to the hierarchy we have created. So we can come to country, right? We right click on country, right click. Then you go to category, you go to hierarchy again. You now say add to location. Are we all there?
Not yet.
Right click on country, then you go to hierarchy, then add to hierarchy. Then you see location, the location you have created. That is the hierarchy you have created. So you just click on it, and it will take country to that hierarchy. Are we all there now?
Add to hierarchy, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
add to hierarchy. Then we see location.
Yeah.
You must have created your location hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we all there now? Guys, I need you to respond because I don't want to keep going back.
Yes.
Okay, please,
Yes.
thank you. So click on that. So when we click on that, we see the category moves directly to hierarchy. There is also an easier way of moving it. Instead of going through that way, we can easily just click on the state and drag it. We click on it and drag it. We click and drag. So we click and drag. You can see I'm moving it around. So what I just did was I clicked on state. I now dragged, I now placed it under country. So you see it's there. Can we all try that, please? So someone said city after state, right? So we can move city and put it under state. Then we can move postcode and put it under city. So now we have what? We have a category here. Like we have a category where we have created an hierarchy of their like according to their importance, right? Are we all there now?
Yes.
Okay. So we want to create another hierarchy, but this time around for the category and subcategory, right? So we have subcategory where we have subcategory and we have category. Where is the category? Yeah, so we have subcategory. We have our category shouldn't be under location. So if we have a category under location, just drag it out. So category is the category of the item that are being sold. So like just drag out category out of that, please. So we want to create an hierarchy between this category and subcategory, because let's say for example, I open that data now, right? Okay, so this is it. So we have, let me scroll to the top. So we have category and we have subcategory. So we have furniture as the category, but subcategory is bookcases. And the name of the product, it says it, the name of the product, right? This one is bush. So it says the name of the product. So like that, we have you can have some product that, furniture, but not under the subcategory changes, right? So we want to say the subcategory is a subordinate of the category, right? So it's under the category. So so what we just click on, you click on this and create another hierarchy. But this time around, we name the hierarchy undo. We'll create an hierarchy. We'll create an hierarchy this time around for category. So now on this, we'll call it product category. Right? So we name this product category. Now, under product category now, category is already there. What do you want to take there? We want to take subcategory there. So we'll just drag it and place it under subcategory. So in the real sense, we have kind of like created an hierarchy for products and for location. So but for me, I like to do this kind of thing so that I can understand my data properly. If you have like something well arranged like this, you can understand your data properly. You can relate to it properly. So here we have customer ID. Now, when they say customer ID, who are the customer that are being ID'd? Is definitely the customer name. So the customer name would follow, right? So we say product ID. Who is the product ID? What's the product ID in the product name, right? So we can just for let me see. No, I'm just trying to. But what is identified as product name? So we have the region and the row number. Row number, we don't need that. So the row number we don't need. So we can highlight this and hide it. So you can right click on it, then you hide it. Does anybody have a problem so far?
I've lost long time ago.
Sorry. Sorry, my question is, are we also giving categories to the customers, just as we did for the products?
What do you mean categories to customers?
Sorry, I mean hierarchy, just as we did for the others.
Yeah, we are doing that for category.
No,
yeah,
for the customers. I mean for the customers. When you talk
for the
about
customers,
customer ID, customer.
No, we are not doing that.
Okay.
I'm just showing you what we are dealing with, right? Okay. So most like I'm just showing you. So we are not doing that.
Sorry if I was, although I don't really, I'm not really taking time to look at the data, but I can also see region, and I can see that it's a string. So what do we have under the region?
Yeah, so that's what I'll show you now. What we have under the region, we have the south, west, east, central, and so on.
It cannot go under location.
Yeah, we can put it under location here, but like I said, if we look at this here, this that is giving us, is there anything that shows region and country? So it says either region or country. Okay. So we are already picking country, right? Okay. So if we assign this to region, right? If we assign it to it, let's see. If we come here, I will go to this and we assign it to region. So you see it as region. So we can say put it above country, but I don't know how to see it. So let's see how it sees this. If I just drop it on the canvas quickly. So it's not seeing anything there in particular. So I would undo that. Okay. I just want you to see what we are talking about. So this region that we just selected is not seeing it, like it is not there as a geographical location.
Okay.
Right? Are you understanding now? So you cannot build anything from this.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Abiola.
Sorry, just I might drag you back a bit. It's
Okay, that's
just to
fine.
see that when I go to hierarchy and try to create, sorry, when I go to category and try to create another hierarchy, he's not allowing me to do that. He says remove hierarchy.
Okay.
So I
Do you
don't know
want to
if
share?
that's a
Do
problem.
you want to share your screen real quick?
I'm unable to share the screen I'm using because I'm using like a work
Okay. You know
laptop.
what? Okay. So if you look at your location where you have written your location now, you have
Yes.
hierarchy. You have category under location, right?
Yes, I've been able to create the location, but I
Okay.
can't
Now,
do
just
another
hold on.
hierarchy.
Just hold on. So your
Okay.
category, as it is
Mhm.
under location. So take it out of location. So what I'm saying is this: your hierarchy was inside location, just like this.
Okay.
So take it
Okay.
out.
So
Take
I've
it out
removed
completely.
it. Yes, I've
Remove
done
it.
that.
So when you remove it now, click on it now and say create
Okay.
hierarchy.
Okay. It's
And
allowing me now. It
do
says
that.
add to hierarchy.
Yeah, you can do that now. So add to hierarchy.
Okay.
So but not add to hierarchy. Create a new one and name it product category.
Okay. All right. I've
So
seen that now. Thank you.
Yeah. So
So I'll now click on product category and then follow as you're doing. Thank you.
yeah. So
Okay.
I'll just give you a moment to get to this and let me know when you get to this. So Shegun, you were saying something about you are lost from.
Don't worry. I've gotten it. But I'm just charging now, sir.
Okay. Oluwakemi, do you want to say something? Okay. Are we all here?
Okay, done that. So what I did was just to drag the I think the fields to the category I created now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fine. Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah. So if you are all here, so we want to look at our story. So what our story is saying today is that just let it load real quick. So our story is saying today is we want to sorry about that. I have so many things like running on my system.
Sir, from the story, I'm also saying that number one is related to region.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. We are getting there. So the first one is what region makes the most amount of profits? So now, so I can't believe I closed the question. So it's saying what region makes the most amount of profits? So we want to know what region makes the most amount of profit, right? So what we want to do is take our region, right? This is the region. We want to drag region and put it on the column. So you see, we have our region, central, east, south, and west. Right? We've dragged it and put it there. So we want to take our profit. This is profit, right? And we'll put it on the row. Right? So from this, we can see how the profit is like across the region. Can't we? So are we all here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what we can do further is this. If, for example, it looks kind of odd because it doesn't kind of like follow. There's no order to how it is arranged. So we can put a order to how it is arranged. If you look at the top here, you can see this is ascending order and this is descending order. So if I click on this, right, it does it in ascending order. If I click on this, it does it in descending order. Right? So we have that. So we have it in descending order, so we can see, oh, west is making more profit than the rest of the region. Next to next to east, next to south, then central is making the least amount of profit, right? So this is easy for us to see, right? So what we can now do further is we want to what do you think we can do to this to make it more like distinct? Each of these bars, what can we do to make it more distinct? If anybody wants to give it a go.
Change the color.
You said?
Can we change the color?
Yeah, we can change the color. Thank you. So you have what they call marks. This field is for marks, is marks. So this field can do many things, right? It can label, it can, you see this, there is telling you, it's telling you region, west, profit, is telling you the amount, right? So what this does is like the tooltip. That is what it does. So when I put my cursor on it, it's telling me the tooltip. So if I click on tooltip, right, you can see it here. If you just click on tooltip on your system, then this comes up. You can now see, you see region, it has said region. Profit, the sum of profit. So when you say region, it has put the name of the field region. When you put profit, it has put the name, the sum of the profit automatically. But you can edit this if you want to edit it, right? That is what the tooltip is for. Now, same thing, you have the details. Like if you want more details, let's say, for example, I go to the profit now. I pick on profit. I put it on. Okay, and maybe that won't do much at the moment, but I would explain to you what that does later. So first, we want to give these colors, right? We want to give them colors. So this is what the marks are for, to give color. So we have the color card here. That's the color marks card here. So what we can do is, what do you want to give color? We want to give the region color, right? So we just go to region, yeah, and place region on color. So drag your region and place it on color. Now it has given color. And it has what? A color legend up here. Have we all done this?
I'm sorry, my graph is not coming up.
Your graph is not coming up.
Oh.
Do you want to share your screen real quick? So I've stopped sharing. You can share your screen.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. So you have latitude there. So click on the show me. Let that show me disappear, please. Click on the show me. Just at the top right corner. Click on that. Okay. Now drag latitude generated out of that. Drag it out. Just drag it out.
Like that.
Click and drag it out. Okay.
Oh.
So now click on descending order. That's the
Descending order.
Yeah, just under server. The menu. Just under the menu. The menu bar. On the menu bar, just under the menu. Just under server there. Under the menu bar under server. Click on it.
Is it this one?
Click on it. You can see sort descending by sum of region. You can see it, what is written there. So click on it. You can see what it has done, right? So go to your region and drag it and put it on the color marks card. So you see it has given it color, right? Are we all here now?
Yes.
Well,
Guys,
can I ask a quick question, please?
I'm listening.
Besides, when we get to this point, we have to create a category before we create the hierarchy. But for the data we are working on, the category was automatically created.
Yes, I think what I was trying to say is what I was trying to say is when on the first look at the data, I thought I thought that on first look at data, I thought that. So, but what you just do is, you can go ahead to create what you call. You can go ahead to create your hierarchy, right? Because there are the fields that you have. You can create what you call it. You can create what they call it. You can create hierarchy based on the kind of fields that you have. There are some fields that it might be difficult for you to create hierarchy because of the kind of the kind of data that you have. It depends, right? Yeah. So what I want you to also do is drag country out of details there and drag latitude out of details. Just in your marks card, drag that out, drag it out. Okay, drop it, drag the other one out, and drop it there. Thank you. So are we all here?
Yes.
Okay. You said
Yes.
what?
Yes.
So you can stop sharing, Kemi. Okay. Now, so we all have this, right? So what we can now do further is this: you can decide to change your color yourself. So you click on color. If you click on color, you can click on edit. So we can decide to change the kind of color. Maybe we don't want this kind of color, it's too colorful, right? Or it has too much color. You just want a color, you want to assign, maybe in your company, you have a color that you work with, or the particular company that outsource the data to you, they have a particular color code that they use. So this is a way that you can change the color. So this is the automatic. You can change the panel. So we have different types. So you can, there is the palette of 20 and so on. That's the Tableau 20, Tableau Classic 20, and so on. So, but me, what I'll just do for this class is I'll pick the gold to red, right? And I'll just click on assign palettes. But if of course, I'm saying red is like danger because like the profit is low there, and yellow, or let me see if there's green to red. There's is there green to red? There's nothing like that. So yeah, so I'm just going to assign panel. But you can actually, if I go to Tableau Classic 20 now, I can decide to assign color one by one. So I click on central. Say I want to assign green to central. I assign green. I click on east. I want to assign red to it. I assign red. I click on south. I want to assign gray to it. I assign gray. I click on west. I want to assign what's this color called? Yellow green. So I assign it to it, and I click on apply. You see it has changed the color. That's how you select color. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the red to gold, and I'll just click on assign palette, and I'll click on apply. Let's see if there's gold to something, or green to gold. So I'll just click green to gold. So I assign palette, and I'll click on apply. So this is, but I don't like the fact that this is the east is greener than that. So I can decide to do that myself, and make south lighter and apply. Right. So you can decide to use whatever color palette you want. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. So this is how does anybody have any question in regards to this? Guys, do we understand it? I would take it as we understand it.
Yes, we do. Sorry.
Yes, we do.
I'm having my central first, east, south, and west. Yeah, but I think yours is having. I mean, the bar charts now. I think yours is having west, east, south, and central. Maybe I missed.
No, that's because you probably we sorted it in ascending order. Sorry, in descending order. So I'll show you how to sort in descending order. That's fine. That's not a problem. But do you understand the color?
Yes.
Okay. Someone wanted to ask a question again. Someone said he didn't understand just now. I will assume everybody understand this now because no one is saying anything. Okay, that's fine. So that is how to edit your color. So I'll just click on okay. So this is my color. You don't necessarily have to use my color. It's even good that you don't use my color because it's do your own design by yourself, right? That's going to be good for you to do your own design by yourself. So Grace, I was talking about the ascending and descending order. So there is a sign just above here in profit, which says, you can see if you read what's on the screen, it says sorted descending order by sum of profit within region. So I can click, if I click on this, you see, it will change it to ascending order. If I click back, it changes to the way it was before. Maybe the way it was on your system. So if I said, oh, yeah. So this menu bar, right? This menu bar, this is where you can also use the ascending and descending, right? This is for descending. This is for ascending. This is for descending. This is the other one is for ascending. So this is where you can do that. Are we okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So
sorry, sir, I have a question.
Okay.
It's about the profit sum. I've been watching it, at least based on the number of exercises that I've done and looked into. Most of the times I discover that the program itself, it generates the sum by itself.
Yeah.
While if we look at the tables playing, we still have the profit itself as a numeric, if I will put it that way. So is it automatic that the computer does it like that? It calculates the sum and then so that one can use as an aggregate if one is dragging it to the visual plane or what?
Yeah. Okay. That's a very, 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 very good question and a very, very good observation. And before I go into that, I'll just really do something. So I'll go into that now. Just give me a moment. The name of this is, we are trying to say this is profit by region. So first, I want to rename this sheet. I'll click on the sheet and I'll right click on the sheet and click on rename. Right click on the sheet and click on rename, or you can just double click on it and voila, and you change the name. So I'll change it to profit by region. So you say to change it at the top here to profit by region. So I didn't answer your question real quick now. So I'll click on, I'll still go back to this just to enlighten us on the question that Adeni is asking. So I'll click on new sheets. So this is the icon for new sheets. So you can see it. Once you place your cursor on it, it says new sheets, new worksheet. So I click on that. That's giving me a new worksheet. So automatically in Tableau, when you put a measure on the canvas here, it automatically does the sum of it. So I place this now. What did it do? It gave you the sum of profits. Total sum of profits. Right? So that is what Tableau does. So if I remove that, if I bring in discounts, it brings in sum of discounts. If I remove this, if I bring in sales, it brings out sum of sales. Right. So technically, originally, Tableau does some, it does the aggregate. But now, let me do something again. Let me bring profit. Let me put it on row here. So you see, we have the whole profit, right? So let's assume that we want to find out the average of this profit, the average, because there are different categories that are giving us this total profit, right? We now want to get the average. We will click on this drop down here. We come here. You see measure. You can see on that measure, it say, I told you this is a measure. So it is measure. So it's measure sum. So we now go there. We say what? We want average. We want media. We want count. Count is the number of sums. So if you say count, we are counting the number of profits within the data, right? The amount of time profits was the amount of time, that the experience profit on every sale. So there must be profit. But if you see this count distance, what he's saying is that we can have a product like book, like a particular type of furniture that is being sold severally and has several profits. So what he's doing is that he's not going to aggregate them. It's not going to give you as one. It's going to aggregate the sum of the distinct product. So if you sell table like 100 times, it's going to add the sum of the profits for the 100 tables rather than give you one by one. So we also have minimum, maximum, percentile, standard deviation, like that, variance, and depends on what you are doing. So if I go to average now, you see, it gives me the average of profits. If I come here, I go here, it gives me, if I say the media, it gives me the media of profit. So this is how you walk around. It depends on what you are looking for, right? You are the one analyzing, so it depends on what you are looking for. So but now we are dealing with some, right? So that's why we are using some. So do we understand now?
That's another question, sir.
Yeah. Hold on. Do we understand that Tableau does an aggregate? So naturally, when you just place it on the canvas, it does an aggregate of whatever you are doing. So I'll just remove that real quick. So what's your question?
Okay, what's the basis upon which we decide maybe we'll put in the column or in the row?
You are just going to, it depends on the visualization you're trying to see. Okay, let's assume that I would delete this, right? And I would duplicate this. So to duplicate this, you right click and you click on duplicate and it duplicates it automatically. So let's assume I want to interchange this. You can either interchange with this. You see this sign here, swap role for column. You can see this sign, right? So what I'll just do is click on the sign and interchange. So what does it do? You see the way the representation is now. So it depends, it's your preference. It depends on what you want. You understand? It depends on the kind of visualization you are trying to achieve.
Okay.
It depends on the kind of visualization you're trying to achieve. That's what's going to determine where you're going to place this field or measure. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, so that's how. So does anybody have any question regarding the visualization we built so far? Do we all understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we have successfully answered question number 1, right? So that's the first question. So now we'll go to the second question. But before we do that, I will just do a little more of kind of like editing so that we can understand how to do just basic editing, right? So like I said, so these are 2 different visualizations. So it depends on whichever one you want to use. You can go on to use it. So what we can do further is this. We can decide that we don't want to, because we already have a title here, we don't want to have this title here, right? This region, we don't want to have it here. Say because we already have this, we don't want to have it here. So I can go here, I can click on hide. So what I do is I right click on region, right? When you right click on region, Then I'll just click on hide field label for columns. So I click on that and it has disappeared automatically. Right. Then what we have on the side, you see, 0, 10, 20, 30. And we want, maybe I want to edit it, make it, give it a little, maybe it's too close. Like these figures are too close to one another. So I want to just give it a little. So I right click on this, I right click on it and click on edit axis. When you click on edit axis, it brings you to, you see this. So right, you see automatic. So it has automatically done this for you. But if you want to give it a fixed, something that you want it to be fixed. So that means this is going from the difference between 0 and 10 or 20 is 10,000. So maybe you want it to be 50,000. So you can click on fixed. And the end, you can put, no, sorry. So we'll leave this at automatic, right? Then we'll come to tick here. This one is to adjust. So this one is just to adjust the range. That's the range of the bar, of this bar. So I'm not adjusting the range, right? So what I want to adjust the tick mark. That's this tick mark, this tick mark, this tick mark, this tick mark. So we want to reduce the tick mark. So we'll click on fixed, right? And we'll put the tick mark. You can see automatically when I clicked on fixed, it changed it 100. So I might want to change the tick mark to say, let us say 25, or we can say 40. I click on 40. So you see. So it looks kind of like cleaner this way, right? But we don't, you don't know the value. We can't see the value like physically. So we can also do something to see the value physically, right? So what we can do is we can then, okay, yeah, since we already said profit by region, we don't need to have this profit here. So we can remove the profits, right? I'll go to that edit axis again. Then remove the profit here. I just remove the title. And you see it has disappeared. So I just click on close. Are we all here? Guys?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
okay, that's good. So what I'll do is, so that I can see the value of all these figures, I'll just take profits, because it's profit you are dealing with. I'll take profit and put it on what? I'll put it on label. You drag profit and put it on the label card. So when you drag and put it on the label, you see what it has done. It has put the profit there. But we don't know if it is in pounds or dollar, or, we need to know, right? So if I go to the data, yeah, it doesn't even say if it is pounds or dollars, but we want to say we are dealing with pounds, right? So what I'll just do is we will need to edit this to pounds. And how do we edit this? So what I want to do is I will click on this. I'll right click on it rather. I'll right click on this and I'll click on what? Format. Are we all here?
No, please can you take it again if you can? Thank you.
So we'll right click, right? That's not what I was supposed to do. I was just supposed to close this. Okay. So I'll right click on this and I'll click on format. Are we there?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we want to do is we want to change. So this is worksheet. This is pen. This is header. This is tooltip, and this is title. So we'll just go to the worksheet, right? What am I doing? Just hold on. Give me a second. I can. So, okay. So what we want to do is this. Yeah. So when we click on the format, so what we want to do is we want to change our field to some profit. So before it was on region, right? It was on region, so you change it to some profit. This field, you click on it and change it to some profit. Have we done that?
No, sorry, I'm lost.
Okay, so I'll close this real quick. I'll click on this and I'll click on edit. So right click on that and click on edit. Have you gotten there? Abiola, what's the question? Raise your hand.
Yeah, sorry. I don't have the profit figure on each of the graph, please. So how did you put it?
So you
Like the
drag
numbers.
you drag. What you are going to do is you are going to drag the profit measure. You drag it and put it on label. So what I've done is this. Look at
Okay. Let's see.
So you just all you just do is take the profit
Profit
and put it on the label.
on label. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
now, to moving forward, you now right click on this and you click on format. Right click and click on format. Right. When you click on format, you will now come here, field. You click on some profit. Some profit. You click on field and you click on some profit. When you click on some profit, now you will now go to numbers here. You click on this, the drop down. When you click on the drop down, then you go to currency custom. You click on currency custom. When you click on currency custom, you say decimal place, you put 0. So it will not put any decimal place there. Then you click on, okay, that's okay. Then the units, because we don't want it to be too long, we just put K there. So it will do it in, you see, it will put it in thousands. Then you have the pound sign there, the pound sterling sign there. If it's dollar, you can put the dollar sign there. If it's naira, you can put the naira sign there. If it is euros, you can put the euro sign there, and so on. If it's CDs, you can put the CD sign there, whatever. Yeah. So that's that. As you just click out, and that's that as regards to that. What I like to do further is I don't like to see all these lines, right? All these lines can be annoying. For me, it is. I don't know for you, but for me, it is. So I like to remove the lines. So on this edit too, you can remove these lines. So what you just need to do is just go to the border, right? You click on this border, right? Then you click on the border. You click on what? The row. Because you have row and you have row this way and you have column vertically. So you click on row, then you click on row. Okay, it's not you not border. You click on this instead, not border. Format line. So we have the axis. So you say none. The axis rule, you say none. I think it has removed that one. Then the grid line, you say none. I think it has removed the grid line. So we don't have any line there. So you say you remove the axis stick, you remove none, axis ruler, you remove none, grid line, you remove none. So you can't see any of all this line there. So what you have is you have something like this. So yeah, this is just me just doing a little editing there. So you can also change the format of all this text, right? So if you go to the sheet, the format of the text, this text, if you want to change the format of the text, if you want it to be a particular type of text, right? If you want to be a particular type of text that you want. So it's on sheets. You can change the text. You can say, let's say, for example, I want, you might not have the text on my own, that I have on my laptop on your own laptop. So you can stick with the Tableau board. Let's say we want to use the Tableau board and I want to increase it a little to 10. That's okay. So yeah. So you can see everything has changed. You can also change it. You can also format this one, this guy right here. you click on legend format. So you right click, you click on the drop down, and it come up, and you click on not color, format legend. So you should be able to format the title. I don't know the title. I don't know why it's changing. It's also on. Let me see what happens. The title is not changing. I don't know why it's not changing. Sometimes it does that, yeah, but I don't know why it's not changing at the moment. This title is supposed to change. I would figure it out. Like sometimes it does that. Yeah. So okay, I know where I'll change it now. So I'll click on this, right? I will now click on edit title. So to change this title now, you see, I think it would affect it here. Let's see. It's still not affecting it. Yeah, well, maybe it will change in the dashboard or something. But yeah, that's how you do that. Now, if you want to edit this too, we can edit this, right? So all we just need to do is right click on it. When we right click on it, we'll highlight this and give it a title. Maybe let me see. Let me just give it Tableau bold. Let me increase it to maybe like let's leave that 16. That's fine. That's kind of like, so I've applied. That's kind of like giving us. So it looks more like better aesthetically, I guess. So yeah. So this is this as regards to question one. Or is there anything that we feel that we can add to this to still make it better? Guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're
sir.
here.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
there anything that we feel that we can add to it to make it any better? No. Okay. So I'll just
No.
let's see if we can check the next. So what we'll do is this. I don't know if anybody did this. Did anybody do this? When I was showing it, did anybody try it?
Yes.
Okay, if we did this, what I want to, for the next class, like I want to see in the next class, I want you to edit this and let us see how it will look like in the next class. So, but before that, we'll just look at one more question. Though we are supposed to stop by 11, but I don't know if you're okay to do additional 30 minutes. If you're okay, we can continue. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can continue.
Okay,
That's
so
okay.
yeah. So we'll just do additional time, just answer one more question, and then I would you guys would answer the remaining two questions like over to the next class, right? So, and let me just see what you guys would do with that. So like I said in the last class, I said you guys are supposed to write your stories. So these are the stories I've given you. So you should put those stories in your Azure DevOps. So you should tell your Scrum Masters that they should show you how to do that if you have not been taught. Though I'm sure they did some session for you guys. So yeah. So once in a while, I might come into your your daily stand-up to see your story. Just to know if you have really done it, right? So that's that as regards to that. So we just look at the question. So we said geographical distribution of sales across cities. So we want to know the geographic distribution of sales across cities, right? So I'll create a new sheet now this time around. So for this, I'll just title this second visuals. So I want us to edit this, right? So all we just need to do is, okay, I'll just, what I'll do is, let me copy this first. So for those ones that have not done it, I'll just show you how I did this quickly. So, so I'll just show you how I did it quickly. I'll first delete it. So I'll delete this. What I'll just do is, I'll right click on this. When you right click on this, you just click on duplicate. Now it has duplicated it. And what you just click on is, funny enough, it's the same, it has done it's the same editing that I did, but yeah, you still need to do some further editing to remove this line. So yeah, I want you guys to remove the line. And you don't have to do this exact kind of editing I did. You can do something better. So then again, this is the size. You see this size. This size here is to adjust the sizes of this bar. So I can increase it. I can reduce it. You can see. You can see. I can reduce it. Maybe I want it to be thin. So that's what that does, right? So the tooltip, like I was saying, you can edit, this tooltip, you see it brings out the region and, region west. So I can decide, I can go to the tooltip, I can click on tooltip. Now I want to edit this. Maybe I want to give it a different color. Say the region, I want to give it, let's say, let me give it like, what color? Let me give it, let's take it blue, and let's give the some profits. Let's give it green. And let's change the font of everything to, let's say, semi-bold. Let's make these guys like a little bigger so that you can see this one a little bigger too. So okay. So you see, now that I pull the tooltip there, I can see it. Region East, profit. I can see the profit is very, you can see it, right? So that's what you use the tooltip for. So that when someone is navigating around, because this is supposed to be an interactive board. When you send to your stakeholders, when they are interacting with it, they should be able to see what's going on. I'm sure you guys have seen like maps online, like when you put your hand on the map or your cushion on the map, it will be showing like some details. So that is what tooltip does. So when I put my cursor on this, these are the details that I want to see. These are the details I want to see. These are the details I want to see. You can decide to add more details to it. So it depends on what detail you really want to see. So those are details you see in your tooltips, right? So do we have any question as regards to this? So the more we go further, the more we start understanding these properties. I don't want to give you like too much because like right now we have done like a lot, and you have a lot to you have a lot to digest. And I don't want to repeat what Mr. Ebenezer has taught you in the last class, because in the last class he was telling you about filtering data, getting data from SQL, doing this, that. If I give you the same introduction, it's going to be like we're teaching the same thing. And that was like similar to the introduction I gave in the first class, in the first session, where I was talking about how you collect data. You collect somewhere, you siphon the data, you filter it, you manipulate the data however you want to do, then you build visualizations, then you have a dashboard and you present to your stakeholders. You see, that was the process he was trying to explain to you yesterday. So it makes sense doing all those things, repeating it. So that's why I just went straight into like the topic, right? So yeah, so this is this. So we'll do the second story now, which is talking about sales and geographical location. So we want to know how sales is across all regions. I want to know it geographically. So now we are dealing with geographical, a geographical map. So if I click on next sheet, I want to name it sales by geographical location. So I want us to create that sheet and name it sales by geographical location. So once we do that, right, we want to take location and place it. You can even place it up here. It doesn't matter. Right. If you place it up there, it doesn't matter. Anywhere you want to place it, you place it here, you place it up here. But yeah, so if you place it up here, then you click on this. Okay, that's fine. So so you place it up here. So yeah, you can decide to choose what you want to see. Right. You can decide what you see. There's map there, there's text, there's shape, there's so many things, bar, line. So click on geographical map. There's also here the show me. So this show me is it gives you an option. This one you are selecting by yourself, right?
We are selecting what am I using by myself. Like this show me. If I click on this show me is giving me like options. I've already put this thing here, so it has read that this thing is a map. These are the options. So is that map or table? Map or table that you can. So it has, you see, it has put table here for me already, or map, right? But in our, in our story, it says by city, and what is showing here is what? Country. So if you click on this addition here, you can see it has brought out states. If you click on this addition there, what does it do? It brings out the cities. So in Alabama now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cities in Alabama. So we want to know the sales per city. But we want to know it geographically. But now it's showing this one in table, in tabular form. So if you click on this right here, you show me. It changes it to what? Geographical. It changes it to what? The geographical. If you click on this one, it's still geographical, but it's still geographical. So it gives us the detail in geographical. So, but what do we want to find out? Sales. So have we all gotten to this point? Let me know that first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now we want to, what have you said? We are looking for sales. So we want to drag sales onto what? Size. If you place it on size, let's place it on size and let's see what happens. Okay, we are placed on size. So what we'll do one more time is we'll carry sales again. We'll place it on just a minute. I'm trying to understand something. Okay, yeah. So what would before we let me see something quickly. Just sales. Let me see. Details. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So it's supposed to be on size. It's supposed to be on size. So okay, yeah. So it's supposed to be on size. So what's happening is this. So if you select on this is the recommended one, right? So if you select on this recommended one, I'll remove this. So if you select on this recommended, what has happened is it's just showing you the geographic location. So it's saying, okay, in Washington, now this is where the stores are in Washington, all the stores. Right. So these are the stores in Washington. So it's telling you the stores in the cities in Washington, according to the city. So the location of the city, Longview, Olympia, and then the rest, like that. So it's telling you. So if you look at the tooltip, you say the name of the city, the name of the country, and the name of the state, right? So if, for example, now I want to find out further details on profit, I can put profit on size. And what it does is, I don't know why. Okay, it's not showing. So because there are a lot of cities that are, because I was wondering why it was not showing, why it was not so obvious. So what will happen is I would adjust our story, right? And I will resend this to you. I adjust it to states because it's not showing the way I expect it to show, right? So because if I increase it now, right? So sorry, that's too much. If I increase it, I want to be able to pinpoint that, okay, is this side that is bigger this side is smaller, but I can see that the values are like close to one another. If you see, that's why their sizes are not like so obvious. So what I'll do is I'll remove city and I'll make it just state. So with state, it's easier to see. It's easier to see the difference. Do you understand what I'm saying? Guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's easier to see the difference. So what I can do is I can adjust this. So while I adjust this, you can see which one, you can see which one is, kind of like doing well, and which one is the one that is doing the least, that kind of a thing. But obviously, like you can still go on and do some further things, but that's in like an advanced class, right? So you can see that the profit here is minus. You can see that it's minus. So you can still go and do some like advanced stuff, but I won't do it in this class, right? Because you can see we have 0 to 2,000, and you can have 0 to minus 25,000. So there's a way you can differentiate this. Try to do a legend that it marks the ones that are close to the highest and the ones that are close to the lowest. But that's for like in a more advanced class. We'll do that, not in this class. Because we'll be jumping the ship. I have to teach you some other steps, and we don't want to go into that yet. So, but what we can also do is we can also give it color, right? So let's see if we put this in the color mark. Okay, so yeah, so the color mark is telling us like how would I put it? The color mark is doing that profit stuff, right? These guys that are doing least and this one are doing the most. Yeah, but what I was trying to say is there's a way that you can mark it that you say, okay, the guys that are doing that I want all the guys that are doing upward, like 50 upward, to be green and the remaining to be blue. So that one you have to like do your parameter by yourself. This is a parameter, right? Like a legend, like so you have like a parameter that you can use to move around and show that. So that will be taught in like in that one I'll show you like in an advanced class. So, but because you have to go through like some kind of like to do that. So for this one, what I want to do is I want to change the color so that it is something that makes a lot of sense to our eyes. So we want to change the color for this. Are we all here?
No.
Okay, I'll just take it backward a little. Okay, so are we all here where we have the state and state, just the country and states on here? Are we all here? Because I said we should remove the city. Have you removed the city? So now we want to drag sales. We want to put it on size. If you put sales on size, please. So we are dealing with sales, right? That's the story. So we are dealing with sales. So we'll put sales on. I mistakenly put profit the other time. It was sales I was supposed to put. So we'll put sales on this. We put sales on the story, right? On the size, because it's sales that is in our story. So put sales on the size. Have you all done that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'll just increase this size a little bit more so that that's too much. Okay, yeah. So you can adjust the size as you deem fit in your visualization there with you. So what we want to do next is we'll take sales. I'll put it on color. So you can see the ones that are doing least and the ones that are doing the most. Right. So what I want to now do further is this. Are we all here now? Have you all put it on color? The sales.
Yes. For everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I will do is I will now click on color, right? And click on edit. Then I would click on this and pick what do you want to use for coloring. I think we can use the red and green. What color should we use? I think green. Green is like we should use green for the most. So red to green. So red, where's red? Red to green. Right. So we have picked red to green. So what I can do is I can give it steps. Have you all picked red to green? Guys.
Yes.
Yes.
So I click red to green. So I can click on steps. So I can click on steps. I can give it five different steps. I can click on advance and tell it where to start from. So I can tell it to start from maybe, I just round it off. I can tell it to start from 900 instead of 920. And I can tell it to end at 4600. Right. And I can tell it to centralize it. Okay, it's at the center, so I'm not going to touch the center. Right. And I'll click on apply. So have we all done this? Like 900 to, what I did was it has its own original range, which is 920. So I just reduced it a little further. And I increased that the other one a little further. And I'll put it in the center. Let's use that as our margin. So we are using the center of our data as our margin. Right? But in some companies, they can give you a margin. So they can tell you that, oh, any profit that is any so based on this data now, right? Based on this, what we have done, based on our data, we can see that, oh, but of course, this 20,000, this 2020, so I said 20,000, 200 and something thousand, of course, it might be doing well for some company. But based on the data they are giving us, we want to use like average. So that means these companies are, these ones are not actually, these sales are not actually doing well. So the ones with the, like, they are very, very red and they are small are the ones that are not doing very well. The very big ones are the ones that are doing the most, right? So, but if you have the kind, if you did like the kind of parameter I was talking about on the dashboard here, you can be adjusting it by yourself, right? You can adjust this center, you can adjust it to what you want, right? You can decide to do those adjustments by your, like, whatever you want. But we'll get there we'll continue. As we continue, we'll get there. So this is the kind of visualization that I was talking about. Then what I want to also do is I will duplicate this and show you another type of visualization. So I can duplicate this. Rather than having something like this, right? I can remove the sum and the sales. Rather than having something like this, I can decide that instead of putting it on details, I want to put them on column. But this is not what I was trying to do. Okay. I'll just do it the easy way, right? So I'll just click on this and click on this other one. So what it has done for me is that it has mapped out the details based on this kind of map, right? So I would, have you all duplicated that? So I would start the process again. I'll delete this. I'll duplicate this. And I'll remove this, sum, and this. And I'll click on this. So we have that. Then I'll put back the sales, right, on this, on the column. When I put sales on the column, based on, because we have done that, we have edited that thing before, so it's showing based on that. So it's either we use something like this or we use this. So these are two different types of visualization you can do with the geographical location. this one and the other one. So do we have any question?
The first tab. How did you size the information to make those circles bigger? How did
This
you do
one,
that? Yes,
the size.
yes, yes.
So you just click on size and you just adjust it. You see, I can adjust the size. So it depends on whichever one you want, the size you want. So you can just adjust that. So like I said too, you can edit the tooltip. You see the tooltip now, you can edit it. Right.
Mine is not working. That's why I got confused.
Okay, do you want to share your screen quickly?
Okay, sorry. I was right clicking. Now I have it now.
Okay. So yeah. So the tooltip too, like I taught you, you can edit the tooltip. All you just have to do is click on the tooltip and edit it. So then you can also edit your map. There are so many things you can do. You can edit, you can format your map. So you click on the field and you click on the latitude generated. Let's see. Maybe not in here, but you can format your map in the dashboard. So I would teach you that. I'll teach you how to do that. But I want you to format this, like the basic that you can format on it. If you want to also, like we are discussing that, if you want to also put the which I don't think is necessary here. But if you want to label it, you can label it. So you can label it either with the sales. So if I put sales on label, you see to write but you see it is like the thing is all over the place. So I don't think it's wise. I don't know what you think about it, but I don't think it's wise. But maybe let's see if we can kind of like format it and see if you can format it. If I click on sum and I come here and I change, just like we did earlier on, I put this to 0 and I put this to 1,000 instead of, maybe it makes sense to do this, right? Though some figures won't show. This one is very tiny, so it might not show. Like you have to zoom in for it to show, right? But I think it looks better like this. So you can easily quickly just see that, oh, this guy is 458, this guy is 300, and you want to look at this guy that is very tiny. What is there? Oh, this one very tiny, 1K. Yeah, Lorita. Yeah, you can talk.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so very much. I wanted to find out, this section, is it being recorded?
Yes, it is.
All right, okay. Because I joined in late and I'm a bit lost. So
That's fine. Don't worry. There are people here to find you. So
all right, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so if you have any question in regards to all that we have done today, please let me know if you have any question.
So far, I've not downloaded the data, so I'm just following. I'm hoping I can do it on my own. So
Okay.
for now, no question until when I can.
Yeah, you can try to reach out to Grace. I'm sure she'll be happy to help you. Grace, I just threw you under the bus. So yeah, Adura, yeah, you have a question.
Yes, this last formatting that you did,
Yeah.
how we can see the price, the sales, the profit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, so it's very easy. So what I just did was really simple. I'll do it on this side. So what I did was I just clicked on this. I clicked on format, right? So and I went to fields and I clicked on sum sales. So because that is what I want to, that's what I want to. Okay, before I do that, I've not placed the label there. So I'll first put the label, the sales on the label, which will tell us, you are seeing the amount, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I would now go to formats, right? When I get to format, I'll come to fields here. I'll go to what I want to format, which is sum sales. Then I would come to this number here. So like you see, there are different, you see, this is the default, but if it's just the totals that I want to, and the grand totals, I'll show you that later. Maybe when we do something that is related to table, where you have to do like show grand total, I'll show you how to do that. So, and if it's just the totals, because when you're doing table, you see totals and you see grand totals, you can include all those things. Then if you want to format them individually, you'll format them individually. But now the default is going to touch everything when you do the default, right? So, but I'll just show you that quickly. So you click on numbers, right? Then you click on numbers, then you go to, because what we are dealing with here is currency. And we want to customize it. Because if I click on standard, you see, it's just saying standard. It's just going to standard. I just go applicable. But customize, you can edit it, right? So when I go to currency custom, I change this one. I don't want to see the decimal place. So I make it 0. So no decimal place. Now I come to the unit. What unit do I want? I want it in thousands. So it's not so long. I can put it in millions too, but you have some figures in thousands, so it will not make sense like that. So I put it in, thousands, and we already have pounds there. So if you want dollar, you can put dollar sign. If it's naira, CDs, any currency, right? So we are good to go. So you see, we have that already. We can still go further to change the format, right, of those figures. So I can go and I can make this bold. Right, I can make it say 12, which is like loud, so you can see it just by looking at it. So this is something that you guys are supposed to go and play with on your own. You can change the color, you can do whatever you like to it. Come up with different styles. Let me see what you can do. Yeah. So Ezekiel, you can ask.
Okay.
Am I able to answer your question, Adura?
Yes, you can.
Okay, yeah. So Ezekiel.
Okay. Thank you for this lecture. Now tomorrow, can I call you in terms of installation, or do it tonight?
Okay, so what will happen is regarding installation, let me see. Were you the one that was sharing your screen earlier?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, I'll just look at it after the class.
Okay.
I'll look at it tomorrow. So
Okay,
yeah,
what time should I call you?
no, send me a message. Let's chat after this. Just send me a message after this. So yeah, does anybody have any question regarding what we learned today? So
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, how did you have your figures on the map, like
so what you just do is, yeah, what you just do is you just put your sales. I put the sales on label. So anything when you want to put anything, like for it to show, you take this whatever value, place it on label. So what it's saying is that label that space with the value.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
So as you go along, you start understanding these cards. You see that sometimes I make a lot of mistake myself. It's because I'm still I don't use this software every day. Some days I go like 3 days, 4 days without using it, so I forget. So, but once I start playing around with it, I remember, right? So yeah, so you have to constantly, and you that are just learning, you have to constantly be playing with it. So as we go along, you understand better. But please don't just rely on what I'm teaching you to know it. You have to practice this. You have to practice. You have to practice every time to understand it. So I think yeah. So I think that's the end for yeah, for tonight. And you can stop recording and while I pass some information across.